right now, CA. Time for a little CA Stories Confidential.
Yeah, since we're talking a little basketball, Dallas Mavericks playing right now, let's go back in time a little bit. We got Tolos texting in because I teased about Tony Braxton, and I asked you, Blake Elliott, had you ever heard of Tony Braxton?
No, sir, I have not.
And before you keep going, I was going to do the same thing. I'll let you do it. You got it.
601 says, you never heard of Mr. Braxton. Are you under the age of 25?
I am. If you listened to the show yesterday,
and
you would know
the 808
24.
said, man, how old is this dude?
Come on, man. 2'4". You know, I'm here to get educated on Braxton. So
okay,
so
that's Miss Tony Braxton to you, sir. I'm gonna need you to bring the
Tony Braxton.
Yeah, bring the appropriate respect to the elders, sir.
Award-winning, talented songstress. A lot of songs written for her by Babyface in L.A. And I mean, her TLC. You heard TLC, right?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I feel like this is just how much does Blake not know?
That's okay.
Singers.
You're 24. Well, back in the 1990s, the Mavericks had some high draft picks because they were a sorry team, and everybody got excited about this team like they're excited about this team right now because they had, quote unquote, the 3 J's. You had Jim Jackson, who was a guard who, believe it or not, one season he had actually Michael Jordan type moves. I kid you not. I was shocked that he did this from Ohio State. You had Jamal Mashburn, straight out of Kentucky, college basketball player of the year. And then you had Jason Kidd, a phenom, who, by the way, is in the Hall of Fame right now and is the current Dallas Mavericks coach.
What?
Yeah, that's what he wound up doing.
Unbelievable. I was wondering where he was.
Yeah, back in the day, though.
I know Jason Kidd.
They were the 3 J's, and they were thick as thieves. They were all young, and Jason was the rookie.
I'm glad that Ass Thieves came through because I was like, oh, what are you talking about?
They were so tight, they even got matching tattoos. They were like, man, it was kind of like, Finley, Dirk, and Nash, and they're always hanging out together like Michael Irvin and Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman, always together. The 3 J's were just always the 3 J's. And then the next season, and like they could have a lot of scoring offense, but they didn't have enough defender guys. So they were on their way, and people started saying, man, this team's gonna be good. The next season, they just weren't that good. And those 3 weren't as tight. Now, I was there for all this stuff. So I'm telling you what really happened. One day, a story came out that Jason Kidd and Jim Jackson were not speaking to each other anymore because they were fighting over Tony Braxton. Now, according to the story, and this is now legend, and I'm here to tell you this is what happens when people run with stuff. Because I'm going to tell you the real truth of what went down.
Talk to me.
And Tony Braxton, she's a musical, she's drop dead gorgeous. She's got sisters. They got their own reality show. She's still beautiful to this day.
Correct.
In fact, maybe just give me a little bit of music. Give me a little.
Can we get a little tunes?
Tony Braxton, just get you in the mood. Give me some of that, Ross. Louder. A little louder.
Louder.
Louder. Louder. You got to hear this girl sing. You hear that beat?
I do.
Oh, no, I want the words. Give me that other cut. What we were listening to earlier when she was singing, find it for me. Turn that down right now because the girl can sing. You got real cute on me. That's okay, Ross. Here's Ross said, I'm gonna make this real sweet for him. Now I want her voice because she got this voice to make it go, oh my.
Oh, wow.
There she is. Listen.
Oh, wait, keep it going.
What is that?
This is Tony Braxton.
I like it.
It seemed like it's skipping, but that's okay. Okay, turn it down. Give me the instrumental.
Back to the
story. So Tony Braxton.
Sorry to interrupt here on the text line. Truckwreck.com text line.
Find the clean version on YouTube. The same song, and not the instrumental.
On the truckwreck.com text line from the 214, they said, reminds me of childhood whoopings, which is hilarious. I can't imagine getting whooped to some smooth R&B in the backs.
You messing up Mama's song. She trying to clean the house.
That's right.
So check this out. Tony Braxton is like, wait a minute. This made national headlines, not just sports headlines. Like, wait a minute. This team was on the right track, and now they arguing about women, and it's not just women. It's like one of the girls, she's a diva. One of the Mariah Carey, Janet Jackson, Lauryn Hill. She's right in there. You find something? Listen to this.
Talk to me.
So they're like, what is going on with this Tony Braxton thing? And I said, okay, I already know what's going on. This is not true. And guess what? the sports media was asking Jason Kidd and Jim Jackson, are you guys fighting and arguing and not even speaking to each other because of this is it. Turn up loud.
This is getting added to the playlist.
I mean, this girl can sing. Well, I'm just telling you.
What's the name of the song?
He's making me high.
Okay.
I mean, back to the story. Okay, so what had happened was this. This is the truth of what happened. Jason Kidd and Jim Jackson, whenever they asked about it, they would say, no comment. We were on this road trip. I was doing home and road games at Fox Sports Southwest. We're on this road trip. First stop was Atlanta, then we go to New York. And everybody said, well, what happened was Jason was supposed to go out with Toni Braxton in Atlanta because that's where she's from. She's from ATL. And then Jim got a limo and he took off with Toni Braxton and she jilted Jason Kidd. And so they don't speak to each other. He just took Jason Kidd's woman. That is not what happened. The first stop on the trip was in Atlanta, but the next stop was in New York. We were in New York City and we had an off day in between. The day before, there was a shoot around and they're like, what are you guys doing tonight? Oh, no, nothing. What are you doing? And somebody said, well, Toni Braxton's in concert. Jim Jackson said, I've got a limo because I got to make an appearance for Nike. Well, Jason Kidd said, well, let me know what y'all got going on. Nobody ever told him what was going on. And what happened was Jim Jackson did his appearance. Them guys never talked to each other. I'm talking about the whole team. Somebody said, let's get together and the whole team go to see Toni Braxton in concert. Nobody ever went. And the next day at practice, the shoot around for the game, Jason said, what y'all wind up doing? And they said, oh yeah, man, we went and met Toni Braxton backstage. And, man, it was about, we rode in Jim's limo. And just said, oh man, y'all so wrong. Didn't nobody call me. And by the way, it was just a joke, but nothing happened. Well, guess what? They lost all these games on the road trip. They come back, everybody's mad. And then somebody said, man, it was that Toni Braxton thing. And then all these reporters like, what happened with Toni Braxton? And then you know how things get twisted? Mm-hmm. Next thing you know, it's national story that Jim Jackson stole Toni Braxton from Jason Kidd in Atlanta, and they're supposed to go out on the date. It never happened. So this is where it gets wild. They would always say no comment. And I'm talking to both of them. I was like, y'all need to just nip this. They said, no, man, we on Entertainment Tonight. I'm like, what? Man, this is just too big. They thought it was funny as hell that everybody thought that Toni Braxton was making them not speak to each other. The team gets imploded and blows up. They trade away Jason Kidd to Phoenix for Michael Finley. They trade away Jim Jackson. They trade away Jamal Murray to Miami. And then a couple of years later, Toni Braxton comes to town. She comes in studio to K104. And by the way, they asked Toni Braxton about this while the incident was going on. And through her publicist, she said, a good girl never kisses and tells.
Smart.
Because she had an album coming out. She comes to the studio K104 a couple of years later. And I said, Toni, off the record, I said, Toni, I know what happened with this Jim Jackson, Jason Kidd stuff. She goes, please tell me, because I've never met them. And I said, to this day? She goes, to this day, I have never met them. How did this get a life of its own? And I said, well, your publicist didn't help. And she said, I know, we had an album dropping, and so, it's good. And I said, and Jim and Jason did not mind because it was like good pub for them. But she said, I did not break that team up. I said, I know you didn't. And she said, I have not met them to this day. And I'm telling you, this is 2023, and I promise you, I still don't think they've met each other. And that's the rest of the story. But if you Google up anything, you'll say, 3J's, Toni Braxton, did she break up the team? And people act like that's a fact. And they want to believe it to this day.
And by the way, that's Jamal Mashburn. You did say Jamal Murray, but you was on a roll.
I wanted you to, yeah.
It's all good.
Jamal
we got it cleaned up.
down to Miami, yeah.
And now one thing that people are doing on the truckwreck.com text line is telling us the songs that they got whoopings to, and I feel so sorry that you guys had soundtracks to that trauma. Someone mentioned anytime that they hear Tina Turner's What's Love Got to Do With It. A fantastic song, by the way. Yeah. That unfortunately brings back bad memories of that belt. But yes, Ike, the Google that you need to do definitely need to go get some Toni Braxton.
No, I love what I heard. I love what I heard. That was A tier singing.
Download that.
We gonna school you on some music at the very least. Let's right here on the Get Right.
And thanks Ross for fixing that for me.
Shout out Ross. Shout out Ross. Doing a lot back there.
Gators got him.